Johnny Depp's bold statement, "I have no regrets about anything," has certainly stirred up conversation. After all, it's not every day you hear someone openly admit to having no regrets, especially after going through such a high-profile, controversial trial. For those who followed Johnny Depp's public battle with Amber Heard, the idea that someone could come out of such a messy legal drama and still say they have no regrets seems almost unbelievable. But Johnny Depp's words carry a deeper meaning, one that goes beyond the headlines and gossip. So, what exactly does he mean by this, and what can we learn from it? For many of us, regret is a familiar feeling. We all know what it's like to look back at a moment in time and wish we could have done things differently. It could be a decision we made, a relationship that didn't work out, or a mistake at work. The what-ifs and if-onlys can weigh us down. But Johnny Depp, despite being at the center of a media storm, isn't letting regret control him. He says he has none. So, what does that actually mean? Let's start by acknowledging the very public nature of Johnny Depp's legal battles. It wasn't just a court case, it was an event that captivated millions. There were explosive testimonies, shocking accusations, and countless hours of public scrutiny. People weighed in from all over the world, forming opinions based on the evidence presented in court, the media's portrayal of events, and the personalities involved. And yet, Johnny Depp stands by his statement, "I have no regrets." In a world where people often hold on to their regrets like a badge of honor, almost as though they need to carry the weight of their past mistakes to justify their present selves, Depp's statement offers something different. It's a challenge to our usual thinking. Instead of letting regrets define him, Depp is choosing to learn from his experiences and move forward. And that's something we can all learn from. We've all experienced moments in life that didn't go as planned. And, let's be real, we've all spent time thinking about what we could have done differently. But imagine for a second if we could just accept the past as it is. Imagine if we didn't see our past mistakes as failures, but as lessons that helped us grow. What if we realized that every experience, good or bad, has shaped us into who we are today? That's the perspective Johnny Depp is embracing, and it's not about denying that things happened, but rather accepting them, learning from them, and not letting them control our future. But here's the thing, when Depp says he has no regrets, it doesn't mean he's ignoring his past. He's not saying he didn't make mistakes or that everything was perfect. What he's saying is that he accepts his past for what it is and has learned from it. It's about perspective. And that's the key to this mindset, understanding that mistakes are part of life and that they don't have to define you. It's not about denying the tough times, it's about accepting them and using them to grow. We all know someone who seems to be carrying around the weight of their past mistakes, someone who can't seem to let go of the what-ifs. Maybe it's a family member, a friend, or even ourselves. We all know that person who constantly replays their mistakes, letting them shape how they see themselves. But Johnny Depp's attitude is different. He's not saying that mistakes don't matter, he's saying that they don't have to define who you are. They can be a part of your story, but they don't have to be the whole story. It's a freeing way of thinking, isn't it? To accept the past, learn from it, and then move on, stronger than before. Now, some people might say that having no regrets means you're not learning from your past. They might think it means you're just brushing things off as if they didn't matter. But that's not the case. Johnny Depp is still very aware of his past, and he's learned from it. He just doesn't let those lessons hold him back. Instead of being stuck in the past, he's using it to shape his future. And isn't that what we should all do? Learn from our mistakes, but don't let them stop us from moving forward. If we're being honest with ourselves, most of us spend far too much time dwelling on our mistakes. We replay them over and over in our minds, thinking about what we could have done differently. We let our regrets hold us back from moving forward. But what if, instead of focusing on the past, we focused on what we can learn from it? What if we decided to look at each experience, good or bad, as an opportunity to grow? That's exactly what Johnny Depp is encouraging us to do. To stop letting the past control our present and future. To see every challenge, every mistake, every setback, as a stepping stone toward becoming better versions of ourselves. The lesson here is simple: resilience. Life will never be smooth sailing, and we can't control what happens to us. But we can control how we react to it. We can choose to bounce back from difficult situations instead of being defeated by them. Johnny Depp, despite everything he went through, didn't let his challenges break him. Instead, he learned from them, moved on, and continues to live his life. And that's a powerful reminder for all of us. Another crucial takeaway from Johnny Depp's perspective is self-acceptance. He's not perfect, and he doesn't pretend to be. But he's accepted himself for who he is, flaws and all. And that's something we can all strive for. We all make mistakes, but those mistakes don't define us. Accepting ourselves, acknowledging our past, and moving forward with confidence, that's the key to personal growth. It's about forgiving ourselves, learning from our experiences, and using them to create a better future. Let's face it, when we're stuck in regret, it's easy to get lost in negative thinking. We start to feel like we're not good enough, like we're defined by our mistakes. But here's a pro tip: when you find yourself stuck in regret or constantly replaying past mistakes, try writing it all down. Sometimes, putting our thoughts on paper helps us gain clarity. It allows us to look at the situation from a different angle and, in doing so, find the lessons that we might have missed before. It's a small step, but it can make a big difference in how we process our emotions and move forward. Now, you might be thinking, but what about the big mistakes? The times I've hurt people or made choices that can't be undone. That's a tough one. It's easy to talk about forgiving ourselves for the smaller mistakes, the ones that don't carry too much weight. But what about those major moments when our actions have caused real pain to others, or when the decisions we made led to consequences we can't reverse? Those are the moments that really challenge us. And I get it, they feel impossible to move past sometimes. These are the types of mistakes that tend to stick with us, lingering in our minds, and make us question whether we can ever truly be free from them. The hardest part about these big mistakes is the sense of permanence they carry. Once something is said or done, we can't undo it, no matter how much we wish we could. That's a difficult reality to accept. And it's natural to feel like there's no way to move forward, because it feels like we've caused irreversible harm. The regret in these situations can be consuming, and it can feel like we're trapped by our own past actions. But here's the thing, while we can't undo the harm we've caused, that doesn't mean we have to let those past mistakes define us. We all have a past, and some parts of it are darker or more complicated than others. But what really matters is what we do next. The most important step we can take is accepting responsibility for our actions and taking the necessary steps to make amends. It's one thing to forgive yourself, but it's an entirely different thing to make things right. And while that doesn't mean you can erase the pain, it does mean you're actively working toward healing, not just for yourself, but for those you've hurt as well. Forgiving yourself is important, and it's a necessary part of the healing process. It's about accepting that you made a mistake, learning from it, and not allowing it to define you forever. But even beyond self-forgiveness, there's this deeper level of growth that comes when we step up and take responsibility for what we've done. That's where the true healing happens. It's about owning our actions and acknowledging the impact they had on others. It's about recognizing that our mistakes, as painful as they are, can be a source of personal transformation if we use them as an opportunity to grow and become better versions of ourselves. Now, making amends doesn't always mean that things will go back to how they were before the mistake. Sometimes, the damage is so deep that reconciliation might not be possible, or it might take time to rebuild trust and repair the relationship. That's something we have to accept too. But the key here is that the act of making amends is not about erasing the past, it's about taking accountability, showing regret for the pain caused, and demonstrating a genuine desire to do better in the future. It's about being honest with ourselves and with the people we've hurt. For example, think about a situation where you may have said something hurtful to a friend or family member. At the time, maybe you didn't realize the impact of your words, but looking back, you can see that you've caused pain. Now, the first step is understanding that regret is normal. Feeling sorry for what you did is a natural part of this process. But that's not enough. Simply feeling sorry doesn't change anything. It's the actions you take next that matter. Acknowledge the hurt, express your regret in a genuine way, and most importantly, show through your actions that you're committed to being better. Sometimes, this means having tough conversations. It means reaching out and saying, "I made a mistake, and I know I hurt you. I'm sorry for the pain I caused, and I want to do what I can to make it right." And while the other person might not immediately forgive you, the important part is that you're owning your actions. You're not running from them or pretending like they didn't happen. That's what makes you a better person, acknowledging that you've fallen short, owning it, and doing your best to fix what's broken. Even if the relationship doesn't fully heal right away, that act of humility and responsibility is what will help you grow as a person. The other side of this is that making amends isn't always about expecting forgiveness. This is a tough pill to swallow, but not everyone will be ready or willing to forgive you right away. Sometimes, the pain caused by our actions is so deep that the healing process for the other person takes longer than we expect. And that's okay. Making amends is about showing that you're committed to doing better, whether or not the other person is ready to forgive. It's about showing that you're willing to put in the work to make things right, and that your actions are sincere. This is where growth comes in. When we face the consequences of our actions and take the steps to make things right, it doesn't just heal the hurt we've caused in others, it heals us too. It teaches us to be more compassionate, more self-aware, and more mindful of how our actions affect those around us. The process of making amends forces us to confront the things we wish we could forget, but it also helps us move forward in a way that's healthier and more balanced. It's not easy, and it can feel uncomfortable, but it's through this discomfort that we become more authentic, more human, and ultimately, more whole. So, what does all this mean? It means that the big mistakes, the ones that seem like they can never be undone, don't have to define us. We can't take back what we've done, but we can learn from it and work to make things right. It's not an easy path, but it's the path to real growth. By taking ownership of our mistakes and doing what we can to make amends, we become stronger, more responsible, and more capable of creating positive change, both in our own lives and in the lives of others. And when we approach our mistakes with this mindset, we not only heal ourselves, but we also make the world a little bit better in the process. So, what can we take away from all of this? For one, we can stop being so hard on ourselves. We can stop letting our past mistakes define who we are today. We can choose to see every experience as a lesson that helps us grow. Johnny Depp's "no regrets" attitude is a powerful reminder that resilience, self-acceptance, and moving forward are key to living a fulfilling life. It's not about denying what happened, it's about accepting it, learning from it, and choosing not to let it hold us back. And if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to check out some of our other content on moving forward and embracing life's lessons. Make sure to hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and turn on the notification bell so you never miss a new video. Thanks for watching, and remember, no matter what's happened in your past, it doesn't have to define your future. Keep learning, keep growing, and always keep moving forward.